would say there's kind of two historical backgrounds to this book, because there's the historical context in which it was written, and then there's the historical context in which the story is set. So if I start with the historical context of when it was written, Jin Yong was writing this, as we said, in the late 50s, and he's really sort of is usually credited with reviving the martial arts genre, which actually, I mean, has been with people, Chinese people have been writing martial arts fiction for hundreds of years, but he is credited with kind of reviving it in the, I would say, in the kind of post-war era. And Jin Yong himself fled from China to Hong Kong and was writing what we can say is a kind of like connecting back to a kind of tradition of Chinese writing and culture. Then the actual historical background of the story, this is the story set at the end of the Song dynasty. So if we, for a sort of very brief primer of Chinese history, this is going to be embarrassingly brief, but we can say that the Tang dynasty, which is from about 600 to 800 AD, that was a real high point in Chinese culture. That was when there was a lot of outside influence. And then when we move into the kind of Song dynasty, which is sort of 900 to, I mean, it was, 900 something, sorry if I'm getting the dates wrong, until this is 1200. I think Song dynasty didn't quite last that long, but 1200 into the 1200s. The Song dynasty is considered a sort of height of Chinese culture in terms of the writing and the poetry and the cultural stuff, but in terms of politics, it was a very weak period. The Song dynasty was crumbling. There were the Jin dynasty, the Liao dynasty, and then the Mongols from the north, all coming down from the north and attacking the kind of center of Chinese culture, which in Chinese is called the Zhongyuan. It's the kind of this heartland. So this novel, in a way, is about these martial arts fighters who live on the southern edge of the central China. So they live in the kind of slightly wild and unruly part of China where the empire traditionally hasn't reached that far, but where people feel very culturally Chinese, ethnically Chinese. And so they are seeing this, the empire sort of crumbling from the north and coming further south towards them, and they think, what's going on? You know, why is China so weak and being attacked? So they decide, well, you know, it has to be that the chancellors and the advisors around the emperor are corrupt, and so we must save China ourselves. So this is the kind of big sweep background that the martial arts fighters in this novel, they come from the south of China. This is the region where they sort of feel like they become the previously they've always been on the edge in the outer parts of the Chinese empire, and now they feel like they are the ones who are going to save it.
I see.